high-profile trial of a former Catholic priest is taking center stage in a McLennan County courtroom this week. 9 women spanning multiple states are accusing Father Anthony Odiong of sex crimes. The case snowballed after one Waco victim came forward, which led to other alleged victims telling their stories. So let's break down what has happened leading up to this week's trial. Father Anthony Odiong came from Nigeria to Texas. From 2006 to 2012, Father Odiong served at Baylor's St. Peter's Catholic Student Center in Waco and St. Mary's of the Assumption in West. Later, Odiong went to Luling, Louisiana, serving as a pastor in the St. Anthony of Padua Church from around 2015 to 2020. Odiong later went to Florida, where he was arrested by the Florida Caribbean Regional Fugitive Task Force July 16th in 2024. Odiong was sent back to the McLennan County Jail on August 6 later that year, being held on a $5.5 million bond for multiple charges. At least 9 alleged victims from across the country have come forward about Odiong's actions. 3 of them are expected to testify in Waco's 19th State District Court. Attorneys for one Waco victim, Christopher King and Robert Callahan, talked with us during a hearing where Odiong requested to have his $5.5 million bond reduced. They say they want to get justice for victims all over the country.
Father Odiong used his position of spiritual influence to groom not only our client, but several other women over a course of time, possibly over multiple jurisdictions.
While investigations into Odiong began, Odiong put out a statement in 2024, denying claims from several women. His attorney says there has been a lot of support for him in court from followers who believe Odiong is, quote, God-sent, and they want to see him walk free.
There are people that love him. Father Odiong is loved by many, many people. He has done great things for many people, and they're going to continue to support him.
Testimony just wrapped up for the first day of testimony, and jurors got to hear from 6 different witnesses who took the stand. Everyone from a Catholic priest who has worked with the Vatican before to an alleged victim known as Jane Doe. But testimony kicked off at 8:30 this morning, and jurors heard from 2 children of one of the alleged victims who spoke about how their mother met Anthony Odiong in 2008. The witness explained how their mother had recently divorced and was a single mother with 7 kids, becoming close with Odiong, and around 2011, they found Odiong and their mom in her bedroom, both wearing no underwear. Defense attorneys maintained that since the children were young at the time, their memory of the incident where they saw Odiong might not be accurate today. The third witness on the stand was former Baylor University chaplain Bert Burleson, who explained how he came into knowledge of the incident since Odiong was a part of the St. Peter's Catholic Student Center with Baylor. Burleson says when he found of the incident, he thought it was profoundly inappropriate, but did tell defense lawyers he did not keep up with the case after he spoke with the alleged victim once. The fourth witness was a Catholic priest and Notre Dame law professor who was also a former prosecutor for the Vatican, working more than 1,000 child sex abuse cases. Father John Paul Kynes testified about the typical rules priests must follow. Now, the Catholic Church deals with religious figures who don't uphold their duties. The fifth witness to take the stand was an alleged victim of Odiong's known as Jane Doe. Jane Doe talked about how she met Odiong through St. Peter's in 2010, seeking help to navigate her abusive relationship with her then husband. Jane Doe says that Odiong wanted the both of them to have a spiritual marriage, even kissing her aggressively at St. Mary's Church in West when they were supposed to pray together. The defense asked Jane Doe questions of her and her husband's dynamic, as well as her background, wanting to know why she continued to go back to Odiong for spiritual help. Now, testimony ended today with a Waco PD detective talking about another alleged victim in Ohio and how Odiong became her spiritual director, but then that relationship turned sexual.
Continue our coverage from the McLennan County Courthouse, where a former Central Texas priest is on trial for sexual assault. Anthony Odiong is being accused of sexual assault by 9 different women. DNA tests revealed that one of those women had a child fathered by Odiong.
How are we doing, people? This is very, very sad. This man was ordained in Nigeria in 1993. Yeah, that's the report. That's what the report says. He was ordained in 1993. That was 33 years ago. Is right now he's 57. And if they've sentenced him to life imprisonment. You see, this America will not arrest you until they've gotten something to hold on to. So they began to investigate this man since 2008. He was arrested 2024, right? About 2 years ago. But the offense they committed was between 2008 and 2011. And they're saying that he's eligible for parole after he must have served 30 years. He's 57. So what's 57 plus 30? So what would be the essence of the parole? What would be the essence of it? You see, it is not. He said in court. There's a report I read that he said in court that, well, we are all but men. So if you know that you are a man and you want to use your bola, get married, have children. One of these victims, you can hear, maybe you hear from the news report I played. He fathered one of those, the children of one of his victims. They saw his DNA on them, on the child, on those people. So if you say you are but a man, that was his defense in court. Get married. Don't force yourself to do what you don't have the grace to do. Apostle Paul said, that Catholic is modeling this father thing actus. He said, if you have the grace to be like me, by all means, do it. Meaning, if you have the grace, if God has given you the grace not to marry, to stay celibate. I'm not saying not to marry and be secretly sleeping with women. That's not what we're talking about. You need, if you say you are a father, a reverend father, you need to stay celibate. That's the path you have chosen. All right. So nobody is forcing anybody to be what they cannot be. And he said, and Paul said, if you don't have the capacity, if God has not given you the grace, by all means, get married and have children. So where is the by fire by force coming from? You see, I have a friend who is a reverend sister. I have a friend who is a reverend sister. I must say that she was my classmate in school. We read Mascom together. So I was at their convent, because what do they call it? What do they call it? Convent a lot of time. I must say they treat these people well. They feed them well, they treat them well. I think they do that. That's the church now. They do that in compensation for what they are giving up. In compensation for, okay, this is their life. Their life is for the service of the Lord. So they treat them quite well. So I think because of all this, treatment, that's why some people want to, that's my own thoughts. That's why some people want to just say, okay, I want to I want to be this. There was a time I jokingly told her, I said I would like to be my sister. Because what I was saying, and she said, don't joke with me. Then he said your husband, I mean your boyfriend will kill me, referring to herself. Very loving sister. We're say friends, Sister Priscilla. So if you can't do, don't do. So now he's going to be in prison for the rest of his life. That's just it. So You suffer here on earth, then when you get to God, what will you tell him? You are deceiving people. All right, people, I'll talk to you again very soon. These are the kind of people that are messing up, not Nigerians' name, their own name. Because Nigerians, there are lots of Nigerians making waves all over the world. Yes, all over. And we thank God for that. I'm going to talk to you again very soon. I love you. Go to church with your brains intact. Some of these victims, and they are women. Excuse me. They said they went for him to convert in Catholic they would do confession. They went to confession, and he began to kiss them. What? I will roast you. I will give you. You will see stars. So the question is, why don't you slap him and slap the devil out of his head? That was one of the things they were asking God. Why do you keep going back to him? So go to church with your brains intact. I always say it on this channel. Don't let anybody bamboozle you. You have access to God. All right. Talk to you soon. I love you. Bye-bye.